Welcome to Survival Theory. I'm about a stone's throw away from my house in a little patch of woods. Now this is private land that I have access to. It's private land where I'm allowed to cut down some trees. I've got some pine trees I can cut down, sweet gum, and just various other trees. I got yopon everywhere. So I want to utilize the resources here and build a super shelter. So I guess this is chapter 1 of building a super shelter. I'll show you around and we'll talk about it. So after walking through these woods for a while, I can build it around these pines, which I'm considering because under all these pines I have a pine floor. It's very uniform, very soft, so I like it. If I go out there beyond the pines, it's oak leaves, and it's not a very good floor when you have oak leaves. It allows the copperheads and bugs to hide easier. It's not very flat. It's very loud and crunchy. So I think I'm going to go here under the pines. So here's where I'm considering. The ground is slightly sloped right here, but again, I've got pine needles for a floor. I've got a large tree right there and right there, about 6 feet apart. And over here, about 11 feet away, is this tree. Those are about at a right angle. And a little bit off the angle and farther away, I've got this tree and this tree. So that'll be square enough. I can make that work. What I want to do is get the roof up first, put some beams up here, run some beams, some joists out, where I'll have an overhang, and the inside area will be maybe 6 by 10 or so. And then I'll work on the walls, maybe put a window in it. I've got lots of yopon here to make hand tools with, as far as a digging instrument, a rake, things like that I'll need here at the shelter. And once I'm all done, I need to cover this with a tarp to get it waterproofed. There's the main tools I'll be using, an axe and a saw. So here's what I'm considering for the area of the shelter. Now I do have smaller pines I can take down. I've got very large yopons here that can be utilized. Matter of fact, I've got too much yopon. I can take as much of this as I want. I've got sweet gums through here. I've got oaks, especially these long, slender oaks that are straining for sunlight, so they're getting tall and thin. Take some of those out. I mean, look at some of these yopons. Those are logs. Look at that tall and straight yopon. So I've got plenty of material around here. Now, I've never built a super shelter on my channel for 3 reasons. Number 1 is termites. I'm in the southern United States. If you throw something down on the ground, the termites have already started destroying it within a couple of weeks. At the month at the latest. And second is the weather. The humidity, just the weather in general, will destroy any wood that you throw down on the ground or is exposed to the air, is not painted, treated, etc. And the third reason is we don't have extreme winters here where it's, 2 feet of snow and below freezing. Now it gets below freezing, but it's usually not for an extended period of time. So super shelter is something that's not often required here. Even in an emergency situation, if you just had a poncho or a tarp, you'd be fine. So I've never built one. But I'm looking forward to building one just for the practice, just for the experience. And it's going to be kind of complex because I just like building things. So this is chapter 1, the introduction to the area. Again, I'm not deep into the woods, but I'm close enough where I can work on it on a regular basis and film it. And I don't want to do this in a national forest because I'm not going to go into a national forest and start cutting down trees just to build a super shelter that I don't really need. That's wasteful. It's illegal in many circumstances because I would have to use some live trees. So I'm going to do it on private land in an area close by where I can get to it and monitor it and get things done. So now that I've selected a site, I'm going to start collecting timbers. Probably a lot of sweet gum and pine. I'll have to cut them down to size using this Corona saw. I'm going to use a Corona most of the time because, well, it's pretty long. And also it's just a beast. It takes a lot of torture and keeps cutting. And I'll use my axe to fell some larger pieces and to clean things up. I've got a hand drill, which I'll probably utilize, and a bark remover. Well, thanks for watching Survival Theory. Please share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time in Chapter 2 of the Super Shelter Build.